Skilled work is in high demand. The projected workforce gap is around 500,000 workers by the year 2032.
The goal is to build careers and to drive folks to have that impact in our communities through energy efficiency.
If you're interested in applying for this training opportunity, you could fill out an application at empoweringmichigan.com/eacademy. Started in 2022, the program has seen a 94% graduation rate, and those workers enter the workforce earning an average of $22 an hour. For MoneyWorks, I'm Dave Spencer.
The Edge at 11 starts now.
Tonight on The Edge, applause and cheers. President Donald Trump signs a funding bill to finally end the longest shutdown in government history. After 43 days of turmoil with shrinking SNAP benefits, no paychecks, and flight disruptions, some relief should soon be on the way, but the bill does not include what Democrats have been pushing for, a guaranteed extension of expiring health insurance subsidies, which affect more than 20 million Americans.
I want more? Absolutely, I wanted to see more. Parents are telling their kids to eat more at school because they don't know if they're going to be able to eat when they get home.
I want to say that all this was utterly pointless and foolish. This outcome was totally foreseeable.
The bill funds the government through January 30th. 6 Democrats crossed the aisle to vote with Republicans and passed the bill. The only Democrat who stayed away was a local Congresswoman, Haley Stevens. Now, in a statement to Fox 2, she says, quote, "Tonight I voted no on the Republican spending bill because their plans fail Michiganders, ignores working families, and offers lip service instead of actually lowering costs for our families. I won't rubber stamp a plan that leaves Michiganders worse off." Meanwhile, Republican Congressman Bill Huizenga has this to say, quote, "The shutdown was totally avoidable and unnecessary. I hope Democrats in Washington take a long, hard look in the mirror. Their actions denied our military families their paychecks, denied food to low-income families, and jeopardized the safety of our nation's air travel." Now, stay with Fox 2 as we work to bring you the latest on the next steps for services affected by this shutdown. Taylor police, they expose alleged child predators lurking in your children's phones. Men traveling from all over the area to meet up with underage girls for sex. They got caught in a sting. Fox 2's Jessica Dupnack is live to explain. Yes.
These guys that we're talking about, they come from downriver, back up north to Detroit, out to Westland, and everywhere in between. 14 were caught this past year. 3 of them have already pled guilty and will serve their time. The rest, their cases are still moving through the court system. Now, this is all the culmination of some very tenacious police work out of Taylor PD. They saw this growing problem in the community, and they acted.
All of them were, involved in investigations outside of the county.
All shapes and sizes, one thing in common, accused sexual predators. As dads, how do you guys not get pissed?
It's tough, but, this is what we're trained for.
Taylor police tallying up their numbers this year. 14 men caught in multiple sting operations. They thought they were chatting online with girls as young as 13 years old to meet for sex. Instead, it was Detective Mario Hinojosa and the gang who moved in during the meetups.
Somebody even brought their kids to the scene for a meetup.
They're lurking on your Instagrams and Snapchats, dating sites, but are targeting kids' games like Roblox.
These guys know what they're doing. They're chatting with hundreds of people every day, so they're very sly what they use. They'll manipulate these kids.
Detective says 14 is really a drop in the bucket, and it's getting worse. Parents are the first line of defense.
Our biggest point is just to emphasize to parents monitoring your kids' stuff. It's not a control thing, but you have to be on these apps. You can't just let them wander around messaging random people.
Now, with all of the coverage, the news coverage of these sting operations going back to the Chris Hansen days with To Catch a Predator, it's pretty amazing that these guys still fall for these stings. But the detective says that really speaks to the drive that these people have to meet up with young children. Now, the operations, they are done for the year, but these guys, they promise they'll be back next year. Reporting live, Jessica Dupnack on The Edge.
I appreciate you sharing that message for a lot of parents out there, but let us know how it feels for a lot of these police officers who are also parents and having to experience this situation kind of twofold here.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, Brandon, you're a dad. Can you imagine coming face to face with an alleged predator? You have the text message proof in your hand of what these guys wanted to do. Some of them brought guns and other kinds of paraphernalia. It takes some serious self-control, and I think it's a matter of catching them and letting it work through the court system, having that self-control and realizing that you are making a dent in this problem.
But it all starts with breaking the ice with your kids. Hopefully a lot of parents can watch that and start that. Jessica, we thank you.
I didn't know they was living in those conditions. I mean, I didn't know. I mean, I don't know.
A Pontiac woman now faces child abuse charges after her 3 kids were found living in filth. The Oakland County Sheriff's Office says the apartment was littered with feces, rotten food, and the water wasn't running. Deputies say that Teramus Johnson often abandoned her 12-year-old daughter, 9-year-old son, and 9-year-old daughter.
They want to do something, like it's like they wasn't getting no attention. They was out all night, running up and down the street all night long. I never knew that's what they was going through indoors. You never know what a person's going through.
Well, we're told the suspect initially got a cash bond, but the judge changed her mind after, listen to this, the suspect threw a chair and then cussed the judge out. Residents in Saline Township, they're in an uproar. Many are not too happy with an upcoming massive data center that's set to be built in the middle of the farming community. Neighbors, they don't want it for many reasons, but as Fox 2's Dave Kinchin tells us, local leaders say their hands are tied.
Well, tonight's meeting was really more of a sounding board with lots of anger and frustration from residents here in Saline Township, and local officials say this project is already on the fast track. We'll go to video, tell you all about this. Residents packed the old schoolhouse-style Saline Township building with a lot to say, and many feeling as though their hands are tied, and that's exactly how the board members described their situation, especially after navigating their way through a lawsuit. So here's the deal. A $7 billion data center is being developed by OpenAI. That's the creator of ChatGPT. Oracle and the company Related Digital are also involved. We are told the data center will have buildings that will be the size of nearly 30 football fields and will make AI models used for just about every aspect of life. Now, supporters say the data center will bring in millions of tax dollars in terms of revenue and create several hundred jobs, but those opposed say they worry about the potential increase in electric bills due to what's feared to be a massive power consumption to run that data center. Others say the environment is at risk, especially the water. But overall, many say they just don't feel like their opinions have mattered all along.
I went to Afghanistan. I'm no war hero, but I went to Afghanistan in 2011 to 12, and I put everything that I earned over there, willing to lay down my life, willing to lay down my life to earn that money, come home, and now you just shrug. You don't protect me. You don't protect my family. I put every penny into that home, into that land. We remodeled that house, and we built our dream home so I could raise my 5 small children. And nobody's here to protect me. Nobody's here to protect us. I am angry.
This board was not in favor of it from a standpoint of this was not something that they looked for or welcome, but they voted based upon what they figured was at that point in the best interest of the community.
I mean, I think we've seen nationally that every time a data center is built, they suck up all the water, electricity rates are jacked.
The Saline Township Board did vote to rezone the project, but they actually got sued by one of the developers. They did settle. We're told that settlement was essentially less than ideal. The next step is for the Michigan Public Service Commission to take up this issue, especially as it relates to DTE and providing the power for this data center. In Saline Township, Dave Kinchin on The Edge.
The NCAA is piling penalties on Michigan State University. The football program now is on probation for violations. This is a part of the punishment that the Spartans must wipe 14 games off the record books and vacate those wins. Most of them happened while Mel Tucker was coaching. The NCAA says that Tucker allowed 3 ineligible players to take the field, and he broke other rules. Tucker was fired 2 years ago for off-the-field issues. University will also have to pay $30,000 fine and is on the hook to shell out more cash based on the program's budget. The school says that in part that it accepts the punishment but is disappointed that it has to scrub the records. Well, the skies, they are dancing tonight thanks to a strong geomagnetic storm. That storm created the auroras, also known as the northern lights. You can see them on one of our cameras near Big Rapids. There you go. Also, it captures the amazing sight in Battle Creek. Rich, you've been tracking this all night, you and Aaron Jordan. So how is this shaping up in our area?
You know, some parts of southeast Michigan are seeing some splashes of northern lights, but you have to go outside to see it. You got to give it a shot. Notice where the back edge of the clouds are from Traverse City right down into the Thumb region. So thankfully, there are breaks in the clouds. And with that, go take a look. You may see the northern lights. Here's some live pictures from Portland, Michigan. This is between Lansing and Grand Rapids, and you can see on the horizon there some colors of green and a few splashes of red. 52 degrees today. You know, it felt a lot better with that sunshine out there. It was still chilly, 34 this morning, pretty close to where we should be for this time of year. There are some cold spots, 27 Ann Arbor, 39 Mount Clemens, 37 up in Pontiac right now, but the breeze from the south and west continues. Yes, there is a lot of blue on the map, but somewhat mild air for Chicago and Muskegon. We are going to see quiet weather for Thursday and Friday with high pressure moving right over us. And with that, Saturday, we actually have a chance to get up to 60 degrees. You'll see it in the 7-day. Cool and dry for the rest of tonight. Tomorrow, 50 degrees with sun and clouds. Still a breeze around Thursday. Certainly warmer Saturday with a shower chance. Cooler once again next week. How about a full check starting at 4 a.m. Thursday?
She's not to possess or be in the presence of any animals and or pets.
A woman faces animal cruelty charges after police find more than 60 cats in a U-Haul. We'll talk to one of the people closest to this case, this disturbing case, next. Plus, how many bagpipers does it take to break a world record? We're going to have the answer. That's still ahead on The Edge.